The 1970s were a desperate time for British cars. The workers spent all week on strike, and when they did turn up, they built rubbish. But this was also the decade when we were supreme in one area: boldness, risk-taking. This is the Aston Martin Lagonda, the most shocking car in the world in 1976, and to my mind, still the most shocking in 2003. Have you read in the paper recently about the explorer Sir Ranulph Fiennes? He had a triple heart bypass operation, and then he went and ran 7 marathons. Madness. This car is Sir Ranulph Fiennes. It defies common sense in spectacular style. Back in the mid-70s, Aston Martin had just gone bust and been bailed out, so logically, they should have played safe with their next car. No silly risks. And then they did this. The issue here is not the 5.3-litre V8 engine, or the 140 mph plus top speed, or the acceleration, or the flat cornering, or any of that stuff. It's the looks. The man responsible for this car, one William Towns, locked himself away with a ruler and a pencil and designed it in just a month. He was obsessed with aerodynamics and wanted a very, very low nose. Now watch this. If I stand here, I'm looking down on the bonnet. Nothing remarkable about that. But if I do this, I'm still looking down on the bonnet, and this isn't a mid-engine supercar. This has got a whacking great V8 under the bonnet. It's a front-engine, 4-door luxury limousine. But if the exterior styling was daring, the interior was downright reckless. More blinking LEDs than a Casio factory. Look, it's touch buttons all over the place, all down here. It's almost as if the designer watched an episode of Blake 7 and then thought, aha. The problem, though, was that none of this stuff actually worked. The development costs for the electronics alone on the Lagonda came to 4 times as much as the budget for the whole car. And when the first Lagonda was delivered, it was over a year late and completely undrivable, and all because the electronics had failed. So, the styling was beyond madness, the electrics beyond ambition, and just to make the tightrope a bit more wobbly, the price was beyond belief. £50,000 at the end of the 70s, or £180,000 at today's prices. And did Aston Martin's boldness pay off? No. In 12 years, they made just 645. What a shame. But their loss is our gain, because today you can get a working example of this, the world's most outrageous car, for £15,000. Now that's a risk worth taking.
James, at 15,000, that is a lot of car, you've got to admit.
Another 15,000 to fill it up, probably.
Yeah, that's a bit of a worry. And those electrics, when they go wrong.
Yeah. Well, it could be 15,000, I suppose.
And the engine, if that goes wrong.
Yeah, it's an Aston Martin engine. You're probably looking at 15,000.
Yeah, it's a stupid idea, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Actually, it's one of the worst bits of advice I've ever given on this programme.